Welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you something I did, which I probably shouldn't have done. I traded news. In a second, I'm going to show you what happened, and I'll explain to you why I did take this trade. In return, all I ask is you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to continue supporting this channel. Let's get busy.
Alright, before I break this all down, I just want to make this very clear. I do not recommend this at all. It is high risk. I've traded this setup before and it didn't work in my favor at all. I did take it in this occasion and I'm going to explain to you why, but it's not something that works. It's not something I would include in my trading plan at all. Avoid trading news. It's better to just scalp the aftermath, if anything, let the news play out, see where it's going, then maybe scalp it after, but avoid getting in a move before news breaks because it could be good news, it could be bad news, and it goes up or down. It doesn't make a difference. When price has an agenda, it has its own agenda. So yeah, don't trade news basically. Anyway, so let's get busy. So this is where the move all originated down here on the third. So I saw the move on Swiss, and it's actually two moves. Okay, so it started on the Swiss, then I jumped over to GU, and I continued the main move. Yeah. So what we had here is a downtrend on the higher time frame. You can see there's a long term. It was pushing up, but it started going down again. Long-term downtrend, yeah, on the H1. So it did get down to this low here, put in a reversal pattern, and it's been going up. I did get some of this move, didn't get all of it. Got some of this move, and I just been watching it, looking for opportunities to jump in again. So on the 3rd, which was Friday the 3rd of February, price was here. So we're going to zoom into M5 and you see exactly what I am talking about. So if you're reading this with supply and demand, you can see clearly where price is. It is in a higher, it's in an uptrend, and it's just reached a demand. So this is where price was here, and it pushed down to this demand on the left. I'm going to zoom in again. Hopefully we can still see all that. Okay, yeah. So this is where price is here. So when I spotted this move was because of this, right? So price created an imbalance. An imbalance is when there's just price action in one direction. There's no pullback at all in this move. It's just straight down. That's very odd, especially when there's no news. It should have pulled down here, bounced up, and then moved down again. But what it did, it just pulled straight down. Why? Because price had an agenda. So I looked to the left and you can see the agenda. It is in a demand. Yeah, you can see here we've been trending up. Demand here pushed up, pulled back to that demand, got pushed up, pulled that back to this demand, got pushed up, and it's just been respecting its previous demands, right? So when this pulled down here, I was interested, right? I thought buy this, take it back up to here to clear this imbalance. That was my move, okay? But price was taking its time. So I was, look, it was here for about an hour or two. I lost interest. I went to Euro to see what was going on. Euro painted a different picture. I always check Euro and Swiss to see if they're aligned or not. Euro painted a different picture. Then Euro got into its supply. So it got into its supply. So I was like, okay, Euro's got into supply at the same time as the Swiss has got into its demand. And both of them are just chilling out. Maybe there's a move here, right? So look, Euro had crept up and got up here to this supply. Wait, let me zoom out so you can see where the supply is. So this is the supply here. Euro crept up, got up into this supply and was holding. So it was doing the opposite of what the Swiss were doing. So that made sense. So I was like, okay, cool, there's a move here. But taking into account, I already made a fair bit of money that morning. I didn't need to take this move, but I thought, do you know what? It's my setup. There's a move here. I'm gonna wait. I waited. As you can see, these are 5 minute candles. This is a lot of sideward action for 5 minute candles, and I didn't understand why. So I had a quick look to see if there was news due, and there was. And this is what happened. So the news catalyst broke, and look what happened. Straight away, it just smashed. But I had got into a trade somewhere here. Let me just throw up my history. Okay, so I got into a trade down here. Yeah. So as you saw, I tried to get into the move here to take it back up. That didn't work. I realized that I got out and I waited. And I waited from here. What time was that? About 11, 12 to about 3 hours I waited to see what was going on. I was trying to talk myself out of getting involved because I had made money that day and I said, no, don't get involved. But again, it was my setup and I thought, "Do you know what, let's try it out." And again, because it was news, I thought I shouldn't get involved at all. But this just made so much sense that this price action from demand goes back to fill this supply. So I checked to see what news was due, and this is when it got really interesting. And this is what convinced me to jump in. So I can't remember what news, what catalyst it was, whether it was non-farm or whatever it was called. But basically, the estimates for it was to hit 85K. So I checked the history. It normally destroys the estimates. It normally, if it's the estimates at 85K, it's normally hitting 100, 200K. It normally destroys the estimates. So it's like this was a setup. This is clear cut. The price had got here and stopped, and it was waiting here, even though it had not reached its agenda. And its agenda, if we zoom out, you can see its agenda, at least I can. Its agenda to continue this uptrend. So down here is continuing uptrend. Its agenda, yeah, was to be, sorry, it started here, continued this uptrend. So that's a reversal, came up here, right? Its agenda was to beat this high here. So I felt price hasn't reached its agenda. It just pulled into demand, went sideways for 3 hours, news catalyst due, it's going to beat this high. So that's why I got in. So I had demand, the stagnation, news catalyst, plus I felt price had not reached its agenda and it was doing a reversal from a really low point. So all that made me believe that it was going to beat this. And also we had some equal highs here that it should have probably tried to snatch from here, right? And that's where price is now. So it's got those equal highs. So when it was all that aligned, it just made so much sense that I traded news. And that's why I traded news. Normally I do not trade it and I do not recommend it. And I was really done for that day. But all of that put together just made so much sense. So I called that move and it was real. Like I didn't put a lot on it because, like I said, I made some money that day. I didn't need to risk much, and it was news. So because whether it was good news, if it could still went in the opposite direction for the pair. So I caught that move down here, and let's see where I got out. Let's throw out the history. I got out up there. So as soon as it ran those highs that I mentioned earlier, I got out. So that was a 51-point move. So let's see, did I get out on those highs? No, I got out shy of that high. So I got out, yeah, I did, when it beat this high here, yeah? So as soon as it beat that high, I thought, yep, it's reached its agenda. I started getting out straight away and I grabbed 51 points. What was really interesting is, even though that was a sweet move and it worked out nicely, that wasn't even the best move for that day. I switched over to GU. Now, so Euro had the same setup, so did GU. So GU here was sitting in the supply zone here, consolidating, going sideways, right? Now, I was already in US Swiss, got out of there, and I jumped into GU. Why did I jump into GU? GU moves aggressively. Look at that. GU moves aggressively. Swiss did the same move, right? But the Swiss move maybe was like 80 pips. Its typical range is like 80 pips, right? A daily range is about 80 pips. GU could move like 130 on a regular basis. So I got out of the Swiss and I jumped into this. So this was a momentum play. And why did I get into this play? I got into this play because I knew where price was going. So this is the benefits of reading the charts with supply and demand. I'm gonna break this down. Okay, price is still heading to the lows down here, but anyway, okay. So price has been trending up, it went sideways and it started breaking down. It took out this demand here, went lower, went into this demand, took it out, went up to supply here, and it held. That's where I took the trade from. So underneath here, liquidity, underneath all here, liquidity, and these are demand zones that's been used already. If it's been used, I don't trade them. So if price is going down to a demand, which demand could it go down to? Where is it going to turn around from? That's what I'm looking for. So it could have turned around from here. So I did mark that out. It could have turned around here. Yeah. So when price was rushing down, I mean, it was dumping down towards that zone, I saw it. I marked that as I did now. Marked that the potential turnaround point. And where have I lost my position? I marked that the potential turnaround point here, as you can see just there. And I saw that price had not reached it yet. So I put in the quickest market order ever and I rode this momentum towards it. Okay, so I'm going to show you that now. I caught it right from the tops. I caught that as it ran those equal lows. I said, yep, I got my size out, I got what I wanted, and I caught about 50, what was that, 50 points there as well. So I caught that move. Check this out. I said it's going to bounce from somewhere. Look where it bounced from. So I got out of that move and I got into this move for the bounce. I really thought this was going to bounce. I started going up because that was the last demand, but it broke straight through it eventually. Didn't break straight through it, broke through it eventually, and it's heading further down. Where's it heading to? Let's zoom out. It's heading down to this demand here. Okay. How do I know that? Because if I was buying, I'll be buying from this point here. This is the zone I'm looking for buyers. So if price is heading down towards the place I want to buy it from, yeah, I mean, it's a safe bet. That's where I would want to enter. I could actually jump into a move here, but again, it's bad practice because in terms of risk management, where's your stop loss? I'm gonna go put my stop loss up here and just hope. So I missed that move. I didn't need it. I've done really well the previous days. And this move that I caught from here, from GU, this made me a lot of money on Friday. I'm not gonna lie, it made me a lot of money on Friday. It made me about, so that move here, about 50 points or whatever, yeah, just underneath there. So it's about 50 pips. That move made me in close to $3,000 in just that one move there. So, you know, this week I've been cruising. I haven't done much. I haven't done much yesterday. It took 1 or 2 trades. Today I haven't taken much. Like, I'm good for a while. You know, I'm good for the month, you know. So I'm just in cruise control now. And I'm actually, for those who don't know, I'm trading level 2 of the 5%ers 80K account. And right now I'm sitting on, so for level 2, you have a 10% profit target, which is 8,000. And right now I'm sitting on about 6,500. Let's see, 6.5. Where is it? Trade. Yeah, so it says, I explained that in another video. So I'm sitting about 6,000 in profit. The balance here is different, and the reason is because I've taken a what's it called? I made a withdrawal request this morning. So I'm going to do another video and walk you through the process of that. But point being, I've only got about 1,500 left to go. So there's no real need for me to rush or jump into moves without proper risk management, even though I believe it's going to a certain point. I'm just going to take my time, finish this level, and then go to the next level. There is no benefit in me finishing it quick. So I'm just going to take my time, find quality moves, and get myself mentally ready for the next level. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's what happened when I traded news. But as you can see, there was a lot of conditions I had to take into account. And even in those situations, it's not guaranteed it's going to work out in your favor. It's just because it was working, I then got into this move. So it's, I got into move after the news was released. It started moving in the direction I thought it was, and I just scalped it quickly for, a quick $3,000. So it's not something I recommend. I'm very fortunate I got it, and I'm very happy about it. And this is what this video is really about, to remind myself this isn't the way I trade, because I don't want to be taking trades with such high risk and having high days and really low days after. So I want some consistent wins without, risking so much by trading news. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Hope you've enjoyed that. Next video, I'm going to talk about what happens when you do a withdrawal request with the 5%ers. I'm going to show you what happened when I did that. So hit the subscribe button for that when that video drops. And if you find this video useful, hit that like button to continue supporting the channel. All right, I'm signing out. This is Patrick. Peace.